You may have heard of go woke, go broke. But in this case, if you go anti woke, you also go broke. And that is if you're Candace Owens. So now, following her fallout with former President Donald Trump, as well as her beef with Ben Shapiro over her support of the deeply anti Semitic Kanye West, as well as her Blexit organization hemorrhaging cash, it appears that her newest business venture into banking has come to an end. Very sad. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company called GloriFi, a Texas-based banking startup that billed itself as a financial services alternative for conservatives and co-founded by right-wing influencer Candace Owens, is shutting down really before it even started. Owens had previously made some bold predictions about the project's long-term viability on Twitter back in October, just a month after the app initially launched. Oh, so it actually did launch and I heard nothing about it. Sad, baby. All right. Here's what she tweeted. We're at the beginning of the conservative economy. You guys will all be hearing about GloriFi soon. Well, not in the way that, he had hoped, obviously. It's dying. It's dead. It's dead. Now, she also said this, that GloriFi will eventually overtake Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, and PayPal very quickly. She also posted an 8-minute video on Instagram the same day, urging followers to delete their PayPal accounts and move their money over to GloriFi. I'm 1,000% in, she says. I moved my money. Made sure it worked. I'm using the card, she said to her 4.5 million Instagram followers. My God. Imagine somebody like that having 4.5 million followers on Instagram and 3.2 million followers on Twitter. It amazes me, the grifters. But hey, look, apparently those advertisements were not enough. And of course, the project did not have enough support. In fact, on Monday, GloriFi's Chief Marketing and Communications Officer, Kathy Landtroop, informed the company's employees that a funding source crucial to the startup's near-term survival had fallen through, rendering the firm insolvent. There's no solving there. It's all not solvent. Landtroop stated that the company's finances had been hamstrung due to financial challenges related to startup mistakes, the failing economy, and reputational attacks. Like who attacked their reputation? I don't think most of us have even heard about it. And if it's only been marketed towards MAGA people, well then what kind of reputational attacks? Weird. But what they're saying is, I'm sorry, that's what they're saying. That's the claim. What really happened? Well, here's where we get fun. See, when you look at the financial backing of this company, you realize there's actually a lot of money involved. So how did they go bankrupt? I mean, look, they had the support of hedge fund billionaire Ken Griffin, the Republican donor, and even PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel. So that's billionaires. You had the big daddies out there, and they still couldn't make a bank work. Despite having that backing, GloriFi was nearly bankrupt within months of its launch. And it's because they had a lot of problems, as Donald Trump would put it. The Journal sums it up. Missed launch dates, mass layoffs, bungled product rollouts preceded the short-lived company's demise. Employees alleged that the company's chief executive, Toby Neubauer, drank on the job and had an explosive temper. Oh, we got the best people, we have the greatest people. The guy that drinks on the job. I don't know why I'm doing the Trump. Nothing to do with Donald Trump. Anyway, after the Journal reported the employee's allegations back in October, Neubauer stepped down from CEO, only to serve as the company's executive chairman. So I really hope that nobody had put their money into this because it's a disaster. Again, for me, when you look at conservative ideas, like business ideas, a lot of them, it's pretty easy to tell that it's going to be a failure. If you are marketing only towards conservatives, instant fail. I guess unless you're selling like Alex Jones and selling Instahard and brain pills. Ironic. But if you're trying to do something that's a little bit more general, like banking, well, that's a little bit more difficult to break into because you do need a lot of people to actually use your bank. So now, what's funny though, again, going to the whole business model here is another example of right wingers trying to create a completely separate economy from everyone else. They're trying to do conservative only social media. And we've seen that with like Parler and Getter. By the way, Parler, owned by Candace Owens' husband. And then they're trying to, since it is struggling and failing, trying to get Kanye West to buy it. Which is why, of course, Candace Owens is sucking up to Kanye West, and why, Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro are fighting with each other because of Kanye's, rampant anti-Semitism. It's really, really funny and hilarious to watch all of this, unfold and watch these people fight each other. It's very schadenfreude. But as I said before, they're trying to do that. The social media, conservative only banking, conservative only razors. I'm not kidding. Look it up. The whole thing is super ironic because isn't the right wing the one that hates safe spaces? That they're always making fun of liberals for safe spaces. They're literally trying to create an economic safe space. And the problem is that the Republican base is not large enough to sustain these businesses. They vastly overestimated the amount that their messaging comes out to people, gets out to people, and resonates with them. And the messaging, of course, is, oh, the corporations are too woke. That's what's going on here. They're too woke. They're run by blue and pink-haired SJWs, which are and they are forced to declare their pronouns before they even get into the door. It's on the job application, and the companies themselves, as Kanye West, for example, claiming that they're all owned by the Jews, which is again Candace Owens hanging out with an anti-Semite, trying to create a bank. Because of course they claim that the banks are all owned. Okay, anyway. There's bizarre anti-Semitic weirdo conspiracies involving the banks and the bankers and all that stuff, which is right up, again, like I said, Kanye and Candace Owens' alley. And so it's, that said, corporations, they're doing inclusive marketing, not because they have this ideology of wokeism. No, what they're doing here is basically they're trying to appeal to the most amount of people that they can. They're doing it because people other than white conservatives have money. And they want to spend that money. And what do these companies have? They have a fiduciary responsibility to maximize profit for the shareholders. And if the majority of the country supports things like same-sex marriage, and they do, racial justice, which they do, reproductive rights, which they do, these companies, they're going to market to those people. More so than very niche, small, hateful minority. Okay? Now, what's funny about these corporations they claim are so woke. Those same companies, while marketing and pandering to everyone else, still give political donations to conservative politicians who openly fight against social progress. Because, of course. But again, layers of irony, like a cake. These conservative startups are imploding based on the fact that their bases are not big enough to justify their existence. There is no justification for a conservative-only bank. Who needs that? Who asked for it? Nobody. And again, last thing, at the end of the day, the market has spoken. Sorry, sad day for you. Now, Owens has yet to discuss the implosion of the company and has not responded to a request for comment on Monday. My guess is she's either never going to mention it again. What are you talking about? GloriFi. I didn't do that. What? No. Let's talk about wokeism. Or talking about wokeism, they the reason it didn't work out is because the woke moralists shut us down. Thanks to the Biden regime, get crushed. Some other nonsense that they'll make up. But in reality, it just shows suck at business. If you don't try to cater to as many people as possible to do business in a way that is effective and easy, then you're not going to do well. You're not going to be successful at all. And that's what these conservatives miss every single time they try to come up with their own little grift. They just haven't figured out business. They're just not good at it. Their insistence on hating and marginalizing other people have actually backfired onto them. So again, for the people that are always, screaming about go woke, go broke. Well, this is what happens when you go anti-woke.